Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. It's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond. I'm a minister, spiritual life coach, holistic nutritionist, author, and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And this year, it is home of the 365-day challenge. So I'm excited that there are so many who have joined in the challenge. And if you're not familiar with the challenge, or this is the first time that you're tuning into the How Now podcast, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you. Make sure that you go to my website, www.hownowpodcast.com. Be sure to click on your favorite podcast platform: iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You can also scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the banner for this week's show, and it'll take you to the How Now YouTube channel, where you can like, follow, share, and subscribe there as well. You can also check out my playlists like Tuesday, where I share a scripture verse every week. And you can also check out Redefining Authenticity. That's my other podcast with my co-host, who is going to be my special guest today. So again, go to www.hownowpodcast.com. All right, so let's get into tonight's show, where we're going to be talking about it's a time for rest. And rest is an acronym. And so to help me to talk about what rest means and how it is significant in our life is my beautiful co-host and guest. She is no stranger to the How Now podcast. She has been on the show before, and she is also, again, the co-host of Redefining Authenticity, and that is our podcast that we do every Monday. It's every Monday at 7 p.m. Every Monday at 7 p.m. So before we start talking about rest, I'm going to give my co-host an opportunity to introduce herself.
Peace, love, and many blessings. First of all, Kim, thank you. I'm always honored when you bring me onto your platforms. I know you're very particular about who you let show up, so thank you for bringing your girl. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am Sheronda L. Barksdale, A.K.A. Empress, the vision specialist. I am a spiritual life empowerment coach, business owner. We do a little meditation over here, a little laughter over there. And I'm of Authentically Your Expressions, LLC, where we are helping you live your most authentic life. And been rocking with the Kim and redefining you for a very long time now.
Oh yes. Like I said, we've been business partners. We have been sisters. We have been rocking with each other for several years, and so it's always a joy when we can share space together and to be able to talk about things that are going on in our now, both collectively and individually. And so tonight we're going to be talking about it's a time to rest, and rest is an acronym for what, Sheronda?
So REST is an acronym for reclaiming every second of our time. Reclaiming every second of our time.
Second of our time. Now, How Now loves that. we all about living in the now. And when we can talk about reclaiming every second of our time, how powerful is that? And
Isn't
so,
it?
yeah. So tell me a little bit about how that came about.
So that really came about during this time, this political climate that we're in. And as African Americans, and especially Black women, especially us, we have this natural thing of putting on our cape, jumping in where it counts, making sure we're out there voting, making sure we're out there getting our education, and we excel in these areas. However, no matter how hard we try, things still seem to hit the fan. Everything seems to hit the fan, and then everybody looking back at us like, "Yo, can y'all help us? what you're going to do, or we automatically put the cape on, want to rescue everything. So this particular political climate has made a lot of Black women say, no, I'm resting now. I'm tired. I'm tired of jumping in. I'm tired of running in, putting on my cape, putting out these fires. No, we're tired now. You do it. And so that's where rest came. I wanted to remind women, specifically Black women, to rest. What does it feel like to take that time and sit down and reclaim it? It's
Wow.
mine.
That's it. That's it. And that's a lot because just like you said, we wear many hats. We have many roles that we embody. And sometimes we do. We get tired. Just like you said. So I love that. I mean, just the thought of rest. Some people can't even wrap their minds around the concept of rest and
Yes.
what that means to relax.
Mhm.
But more important, like you said, to reclaim every minute. We have to be able, every second, we have to be able to reclaim those things because time waits for no one.
Period.
And we saw that in the pandemic. We saw it when the whole world stood still for a minute.
It
We
really did.
can't get that time back.
We can't even get it back.
We can't get that time back. So,
Mhm.
so it is. It's a matter of us reclaiming that. And I think that, that also means reclaiming who we are.
Absolutely.
And I love that you mentioned that. It is. It's about, saying no. It's time for me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so like you said, you've been, talking about how we, should reclaim that time, how we're tired of doing things, and what has that looked like in your life?
Oh, girl, I'm all here for it in my own life, especially just because I had to learn it. It's one of those things that I did have to be very intentional about. And now it's just kind of part of my daily routine. But part of that is just the self love.
Mhm.
It starts when the ability to give yourself permission to rest is loving on yourself.
Yeah.
Things being able to say to yourself, I am enough. Like right here, right now in this space. Not when I meet that next goal, not with that next benchmark, not that next creation. Right here, I am enough. Should allow everyone to be able to lay down at night and rest. Because when you know that you show up as every portion of how you can, then you give yourself the grace to say, now I can lay down. So when I put my head, when Sheronda puts her head down at night, and I say, I am enough, even the little things, you have those little things in your subconscious that say you should have done this, oh, you didn't get that done. Those things show up, but then I'm like, no, what needed to get done got done. Now I'm giving myself the grace and the authority to shut these eyes and go to sleep. And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of us don't know how to do, is just to give ourselves grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that.
Mhm.
And it's important that, like you said, that we come to an understanding of who we are. And like
Yes.
you said, it's embedded or rooted in that self-love.
Mhm.
And if we can't get into that space of loving on ourselves and saying, like you said, that I'm enough,
Yes.
then we're selling ourselves short and we're not able to give in the way that we could if we took the time to rest and to invest in ourselves. We always
Absolutely.
talk about that whole thing of pouring from an empty cup and all of those things like that, but it's a matter of pouring from a point of overflow. And we
Yes.
can get to that point, I don't think, if we, like you said, don't take the time to rest. There's some rest is the beginning of restoration, of
Mhm.
being restorative. What are we doing to restore what's lost? So I think that's a powerful, powerful place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's even looking into self care. Self care. We do the self love. Let's get to self love with the things we say and believe about ourselves, right? That's self love. But then self care is a next step of putting that into action. So, how do I take care of myself? Do I have a face routine? A lot of people have skin routines that they do on a regular basis that just makes them feel good. What is it that makes you feel good? Everything self care doesn't have to be going to get your nails and toes done and massages, although those things are amazing. Those are amazing, absolutely. But just simple things like when you go to wash your hair, it not just being about, oh, my hair's dirty, I need to wash my hair, but being intentional about the massaging of your own scalp and the
Yeah.
scrubbing of your own, the feeling that you are able to create within your own body for yourself, and telling yourself how beautiful you are and enjoying that whole process. That's
Yeah.
part of self-care. Those things that we could do for ourselves. Because the importance of that is when there is that moment where financially you can't afford to go and pay for these things, or a COVID crisis hits and you can't go out to the massage place, or you're not in
Right.
complete panic and your body's searching for that. At least now you know how to do that, and you create that. There's a stillness that you create within yourself that allows you to rest. I tell anybody, wash your hair before you go to bed. See what kind of sleep you get.
Okay. Some deep restorative sleep. Deep restorative sleep. Okay, so let me scale back a little bit because what I want to do is first talk about how we get to that point of rest. Okay, because
Mhm.
people who come to you, you know, how are they coming to you? In what condition are they coming to you? Are they at their wits end? How is it that they come to you, and we get to the space of saying, okay, you need to rest.
Yeah. See, rest right now is only a group coaching session. So I don't have like a specific coaching program for it as of yet. However, the women that I've noticed that are coming, they're coming for the same reasons like I was talking about at the beginning. They're tired. They
Yes.
need, it's very similar to the feeling that you get from going to traditional church. You go that one day a week and you get that restoration. You feel restored. You feel rejuvenated. If you're just happy again, and now you trust that you can conquer through the week. Now you get to Wednesday, it looks a little shaky. I understand, but at least that Sunday, at least you have something to look forward to. So we have those people who are mothers, entrepreneurs, people working multiple jobs, people who are maybe don't have anything going on just yet, very young, and they just really just want to come in and learn from other women. I have a young lady who comes on to the group coaching session, and she doesn't have any children, she's not married or anything, and she has a job, but she's wanting to connect and understand how to live. And so that's what that beautiful space creates, is people who are like, I'm tired. And now a bunch of people come together saying, I'm tired. Then all of a sudden we've all restored each other. It's like, okay.
Right. Right.
Now we feel good because now we know there's other people just as tired as we are.
Right.
But we
Right.
can commiserate a little bit and then lift each other up, have that good meditative space, because that's part of resting. Have that
Yes.
little meditation moment at the end of the session. And people by the end are like, I could do this. I can get through this week. This week right here, I
Yes.
could do it. So generally, that's how we're showing up. But Kim, don't sleep on it. There may be a coaching session, the coaching packet put together real soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure. I'm sure. But I love that you've created this space where, like you said, women who are of a like mind.
Mhm.
It's we always can grow when we see other people who are in a similar situation, and we can bounce ideas and thoughts off of each other. And like you said,
Yes.
provide that safe space, provide that opportunity for us to come together and share our experiences, and to know that we're not alone. And I have to say that I had the pleasure of being a part of your flagship meeting when all
Yes.
the ladies got together, and it was so wonderful
Mhm.
just to be able to talk and
Right.
to breathe within that session. And people were sharing ideas and thoughts, and it was just nice because you felt a freedom that came with being able to be around like-minded people. You didn't feel as though you were being isolated. You didn't feel as though anybody was, you just came as you were.
Yeah.
You spoke, when things were, so it was just a wonderful space that you created. It really
Thank
was.
you, Kim. That's those type of situations. Those are my babies. That's what I want to see more and more of in the world, is just having those opportunities to feel like you. That's the authenticity. That's that realness. That's when you feel like you've connected with people that makes you feel more like who you are, and it feels comfortable, and you could laugh or you could cry and whatever it is, and then you can go back into life again. You just you honor yourself a little bit more. It's easier to honor yourself when you see somebody who looks like you. They can speak life into you. You speak life into them, and then you can walk away. It's empowering, and that's the beginning and the end of it, because it's coming through S.M.I.L E, the Self Mastery Institute for Learning Empowerment, my online school. In every space I want to create, I'm hoping to give someone empowerment, feel better about themselves, feel better about life, and just rock it and be
Yeah,
able to rock it. Because this life thing could be a little hard some days.
absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing I must say about Sheronda, y'all, is
Oh,
that she is the queen of the acronyms. What? Okay. You heard her say smile, okay? And tell them what smile stands for again.
the Self Mastery Institute for Learning Empowerment. I don't know why that
Okay.
stuff downloads to me like that.
Ah, let me tell you, it's heavy. Okay. So you got rest, you got smile. Okay. Another acronym that she created that I use all the time is COPE, creating our peaceful existence. Okay. And all of these have meaning. All of these are foundational things
Mm,
that we need in our lives. We're self mastery. Okay.
thank
Where do you hear people talking about mastering self?
you.
Okay. That's something serious when we can get to a space where we're investing in ourselves and mastering ourselves, digging deep into who we are,
Ooh,
creating our peaceful existence, learning how to cope. There's so much that comes from us being able to dig within ourselves, to dig deep. Okay. And Sharonda knows all about that because even in her coaching, she talks about shadow work and
yes,
talks about being able to go within. And that's what we have to be able to do, especially in this day and time, Sharonda. We have to be able to connect with ourselves, because how can we connect with anyone else if we're not coming to center with ourselves?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that Kim. You know, when you hear about yourself, sometimes you be like, ah. So thank you for all that. But yeah, the most important part is of all the best thing we could ever do for ourselves is mastering ourselves. That's just it's the thing that puts one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that's going to keep those feet going in the right direction. Because if you can't be in control of your thoughts,
Right.
you're not in control of your body. If you're not in control of your body, you're not in control of your direction. So we have to be so mindful. Have you ever been driving down the road and you just look off, veer off to the left, kind of looking at something? If you look too long, that car is going to go in that direction.
Right.
So part of the mastery of learning how to drive is being able to glance and come back to,
Yeah.
being able to look around you. Ain't somebody saying you can't look to the side real quick, but that's a part of mastering driving, is knowing how to function this vehicle. This is your vehicle.
Right.
This is what you have. This is what we have, this mind and this body and this soul and the spirit and everything that's within us. The moment we can master those things, and it's not about perfection, but it's the
Right.
becoming the master of it and telling it, no, we're not going to do that. And then some
Right.
days being like, okay, I'm gonna let you do it one time. But it's just the
Right.
mastering of ourselves helps create control over our lives, which creates the life we want.
Right.
The more we just respond and react and just do things, or just lackadaisical, or just we don't connect to this thing called life, we just don't have life.
Right. Right. Just like you said, it's about rest. It's about coming to center. It's about reclaiming what we've lost.
Yes.
Reclaiming
Every second.
every second of your time.
Yes.
Okay, because your time is your treasury too. And it's how we spend that time. And
Yes.
begin to talk about what that looks like. And I think that's the key part of it. What
Yes.
does it look like? Because does rest look the same for everyone?
See, it
Is it
does.
something, yeah,
Mhm.
everyone is unique.
Yep.
So I think that rest looks different for each and every person. Just like
Mhm.
people sleep a certain length of time and it's restorative for them, that's all they need. So
Yes.
I think that when we talk about rest, it's just okay, you know, how much of my time have I lost that
Yeah.
I'm trying to reclaim?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Am I trying to just reclaim the day, or am I trying to reclaim the weeks and months that have gone by?
Right.
You
Or
know?
you're reclaiming future time because that person that you were is already about to give up some time that they'll have no, she don't have no business giving up to people she don't have no. I'm going to go ahead and learn how to go to reclaim that time that I'm about to have, simply because I want to make a better decision today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like boundaries to me. It sounds like setting some boundaries. So when we talk
Rest.
about rest, we're talking about setting boundaries
Yes.
so that we're not giving people our time and our valuable time, or that
Valuable.
if we're reclaiming the time, that time that we're spending is quality.
Quality. Oh,
So it sounds like to me.
that's what it is. That's and Kim. That's exactly what it is. I love. See, I can come to Kim before I even do one class. I'm just telling her about the title. And she and I are so connected that she understands fully what I'm about to do. She
Yeah.
understands what the platform is, and she can go tell the world about it probably better than I could.
You
And
know?
that's the rapport that we've always had. But yes, Kim, you're saying it to the T. Resting isn't just about the sleep of it all. It's about the reclaiming our, what are we thinking about the most?
Right.
Because that's taking up time too. When you sit around worrying about stuff that you shouldn't be worrying about, thinking about stuff that's not even going to probably come into fruition, the anxieties, all those things that come. Rest is a compilation of so many things that we get to have and that we get to create for ourselves if we allow ourselves to.
Right. Right. Because just like you said, it's not about just laying down. That is not the definition of
Mhm.
rest. It's not laying down or just being still, because sometimes you can lay perfectly still and your mind is racing. People know that. I mean, because we don't know how to calm down.
Calm down.
Our mind is constantly racing, running, trying to figure out, well, what are we gonna do next? And we gonna and we don't take time to enjoy the present moment that we're in, you know? But to get to that place where, like you said, that meditative state. And I love that you mentioned that, because it is, rest is so many things.
Yeah.
If your body is in pain, if your mind is racing, if you're not feeling well, you can't rest.
Yes.
You can't. So there are so many, to me, so many moving parts to that,
It is.
that if you don't work on mastering some of them, even if it's just a few, you're never going to be at rest until you're at rest,
Yes.
at eternal rest.
Eternal rest. Right.
And we don't want to quite get
We
there.
don't wait there. We don't wait till we get there. I mean,
Right.
we're gonna get there, but let's have some of that here.
Right.
Let's
I
have it here.
absolutely.
Hmm.
But like you said, it starts with I guess coming together, like you said, with like-minded people, but making the decision that
Yes.
I'm not where I want to be,
Yes.
And I think there's a point of pivot for all of us.
Yes.
Okay, and that's something that we can share. What was a pivotal point for you where you
Hmm.
just said, okay, I know I need to slow down. I need to rest.
Rest. You asking me directly? Because I
Yes,
joking. I remember it clear as day.
absolutely.
And you've heard the story before, I'm sure, but it was one day with my late husband. It was me, him, the boys, about to leave the house. And I looked at them, and they looked so good. They were fly. I think they all had the same shoes. I made sure they had the same sneakers, similar color patterns on. They just looked good. And I looked down at myself, and I'm sitting here in some yoga pants and an oversized shirt, and
Right.
probably some flip flops or something. And I'm like, wait a minute. You rip, run, do everything to make sure they are straight. Then you want to get attitude with him because he's not doing it for you, but you should be doing it for yourself. Like I had to reclaim. I had to reclaim every second of my time. I had to reclaim that wanting to be angry at other people for not thinking about me or being angry for not having what I need to have when I probably did, but I was so busy pouring it into other directions
Right.
that I was losing every second of my time. But I had to, and it was in that moment that I said, no, it's time for you to shift the dynamic. Because anytime we take good care of ourselves, everyone around us benefits.
Right.
Everybody gets the blessing of you being well rested.
Right.
Everybody gets to benefit from that. So the moment that I did that, it shifted the dynamics in the house for a quick second because they were kind of attitudey. Everybody was kind of mad that mommy wasn't doing what she normally did, and that's
Right.
all right. I was like, either he gonna be here or he not. Kids ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So either he's gonna learn to deal with it or he's not. And it made the relationship so much better. The moment that I took care of myself, started taking myself to get my hair done and stuff like that, going and doing my nightly baths or weekly baths, however often I was doing them at the time, and doing things for me that made me feel good. Then all of a sudden you saw the dynamic shift again to where it was even better than before because I was happy too.
There you go.
I was happy too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. We, like you said, we don't want to get to a point where we're resentful. And sometimes that's what happens. When we do something, we're not doing it out of love. That's why we say it's so important to say no sometimes, because no is a complete sentence. And
Yes.
and and when we don't say no and we do things, then all of a sudden the animosity starts. We're mad at people because
Yes.
because we've compromised our time to do something for them when we could have said no.
Yep.
I'm quick to say no, and then because if you want the best of me, sometimes I'm going to have to say no
I have to.
because I'm not where I want to be yet to give you my best. So I'd rather pass that on to somebody else who may be able to do it better than I can. And sometimes people are like, "What?" And I'm just like, "I can't. I'm gonna have to say no. I can't do that right now because I want to give the best, and I'm not gonna be able to do that in this situation." And
Yeah.
they're taken aback because they're like, "Oh, because what do you say? You're mad at me for saying that I can't give you my best? Since when? Since when?"
Your problem, not mine.
Right, right. And so, just like you said, when we take care of ourselves, when we take care of our bodies, then we're giving ourselves opportunities to pour into others more effectively than we could have if we were just, operating at half, at
Yeah,
half level. I want
absolutely.
to give optimal level. I want to be able to do things. When I want with my grandbaby, I don't want to be winded after we run around in circles for a few minutes. I want to be able to go longer.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means I have to take care of myself so that
No,
I can, you know? And just like you said, when you're happy, what do they say in marriages? Happy wife, happy life, all that stuff like that. Because if she's happy and content, then there's joy. So then that's where she's pouring from. She's pouring from joy. She's not pouring from anger or frustration. Like,
right.
wow. Just like you said, taking care of yourself, it changes the dynamic of everything around you. So, like you said, everybody benefits, not
Every
just them, but you too.
That's right.
I love that. I love
Yes, absolutely. How about you?
what for me, like I said, we always go back to when my daughter passed.
Mhm.
And like I said, that was 15 years ago. I, you can't reclaim that time. I have beautiful memories,
Yes.
but there was so much, everything kind of stopped because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have direction.
Yeah.
I was too busy being mom and
Yeah.
being wife and being all these things that all of a sudden I was by myself. That
Yeah.
was the first time in my life that I lived by myself because my oldest daughter, empty nested. My youngest daughter passed. I was divorcing my husband, and for the first time ever, I lived by myself,
See, wow.
and I didn't know what the hell to do with myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't know because I never was in a position where it was just me.
Right. 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 Right.
And you
Right.
just never know what the circumstances are going to be or what life is going to throw your way. And that was something I never expected. I was never alone.
Alone. Wow.
I was
Wow.
always responsible for somebody or felt that I was responsible for somebody. And here it was, I was by myself and I needed to be responsible for me. And I
See.
didn't know what that looked like. No idea. I was like, what do I do? I was all right. So I went to work.
Yes.
I came home but I started realizing that, okay, what are some constants in my life?
Mm.
I've been in my home for 28 years. So it was never a thought for me to leave my home,
Yeah.
because some, people came to me and they said, well, now that you myself, do you want to, maybe you want to downsize, maybe you want to move into an apartment, a condo, or something like that. But you know what? I've been in this house so long
Mhm.
that I know everything about it. I
Yes.
can go around here blindfolded. I know every sound, every creak. I know when the house is settling. I know
Yeah.
when there's a woodpecker pecking the siding on
Yes.
the top of my house, which he does on a regular basis. Okay. But I know all of the things about this house. So I started here. This was my foundation. I had to establish a foundation and say, okay, what is something that's consistent in my life that I feel safe at? This is
Yeah.
my safe space.
Yeah.
This was my safe space. This was a place that, when at the end of any day, no matter what happened, I
Yeah.
can come here. And I
See.
had my home. I had my bed to lay in. I had my space.
Yes.
I could
Yeah.
call my
You had your
own.
rest.
And that gave me peace.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And I started building from there. And
Ah.
so I think that's it. I think that's it. Finding that constant,
Yeah.
or finding that place of solace. You
Yeah.
have to have it somewhere. If it's not at work, it has to be at home. It has to be in the closet. It has to be in your car. It has to
It
be
has to
somewhere.
be somewhere. It has to be
Not
somewhere.
there, and to me, that's a good starting point to rest.
Yeah.
Where's a place where you feel comfortable enough to start resting, where you can at least take a breath?
Yes.
Where's that?
And that's why I created rest. Because sometimes that's where people it has to start. Where's that space that I will be intentional? Because we know people aren't intentional these days. We kind of keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Well, now here's a place called rest where I can learn how to rest, and we teach them those things. Where is
Yes.
it? What's the space? What's going to be a little sanctuary? What little closet what little corner you're gonna find? Whatever it looks like. Sit in the car.
Right.
Whatever you can make it be, let it be that so that you can feel it on a daily basis. Because I
Yeah.
love creating that space, but I don't want to be with y'all every day on this during Zoom.
That's right. That's right. Not every
You don't have enough money.
Okay.
I'm just playing. Just playing. But no, I don't even want to consume my own time with doing that for other people. But
Right.
the whole idea is learning how to do it for ourselves. You're supposed to know how to create that for you. And I probably actually love doing it with people. I don't even know why I'm playing every single day. I'm the hangout queen
Yeah.
virtually.
Right.
Okay, I just want to be clear. So nobody be like, oh, she lying. Nope, I ain't lying virtually. But
Okay.
but being able to know how to be around people who can teach you those things, who can show you what it looks like for them. If you don't have a whole lot of space, you're in a studio apartment and you can't get away from the other person. What does it look like doing walking meditation? Those things that we could create. There is so much we can do. But thank goodness for this space that we meet on every Sundays from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, where at least people are being intentional in that moment for the hour and a half
That's right.
to rest.
Yes. And I love that it just goes to show it's a choice.
It's a choice.
You choose to come and be a part of this
Yes.
because there's something in you that
And
says,
you.
I need this. I need this. I need to create this tool. I need to understand. I'm all about the toolboxes. And the whole point of it is that we can't deal with anything if we don't have the tools that we need to deal with them. Okay, and if I know I need rest and I don't know how to do it, I need to go somewhere where I can learn. Or where can I go to find the tools that I need so that I can learn to do this for myself? So that
Absolutely.
I can begin to create a healthy habit for myself. 365-day challenge. Hello. To create healthy habits
It's-
so that way we can start developing the things. Again, everything is about moving that needle just a little bit
Just
more, to do things to create that better version of us. And
that's
we
right.
can't do that if we're stagnant, if we're standing still.
That's right.
And so I love platforms like this. I love opportunities
Yes.
like this to share information and to let people know. That's the whole reason for creating How Now, to
Yeah.
talk about how we can live in this now. How can we navigate in this space that we're in right now? Because
Yeah.
it looks different all the time.
Yeah.
And just like you said, in this political climate, with the things that are going on,
Going on.
what are the tools that we can use to help us
Yes.
to create our peaceful existence, to cope? What is
Yes.
it that's going to help us smile as we
Mhm.
master ourselves?
Yes. 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 Yes.
There's so much to be learned. There's so much to explore, and it's wonderful when we have platforms like this to do it. And like you said, rest is no different.
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
no different. It's like you said, it's a coming of age, it's a reclaiming things that we've lost and saying, okay, what are we going to do now with this time that we've reclaimed back? Because that's the part two of all of this.
Yeah.
I'm reclaiming that time. I'm reclaiming every second of my time, but what am I going to do with it?
Yeah.
That's critical. I absolutely love it. I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. And so, like you said, it's coming together. It's creating a safe space for women to do that. And your hope is that they'll walk away with what?
Rest. Rest. Understanding how to rest.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And hopefully that they'll pass it on to those who are around them. You know,
Absolutely.
I want it to be something that's contagious. something
Right.
something that they'll be able to say, okay, this is something that I've mastered, and now I'm going to pass this on to somebody else. Just like you're passing on, you have created such a beautiful platform, such a beautiful space. And I'm appreciative of that, you know, because it takes people who have a different frame of mind to be able to say, okay, well, we're doing things. What are some things that we can do different? How can I blaze the trail to start doing something different from what we normally do? So, like I said, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for the wonderful platforms that you are creating for women, so
Thank you.
that way they can be all that they can possibly be.
Mhm.
And so, like I said, leave some words of wisdom for our listeners, those who are interested in learning more about rest. Tell them how they can join and be a part of it, how can get in contact with you and learn about your products and your services and things that you're doing in your now. Let them know.
Absolutely. Well, you can go on Facebook and look up Authentically Your Expressions. You could go on Instagram and look up Authentically Your Expressions. You could go to Linktree and look up Authentically Your Expressions. And when you get there, you can go to our Smile page. Check out the whole website. But when you go to the Smile page, and there's a little form right at the bottom for you to fill out so that I can get your email address and you will receive the link for our meetings. We meet every Sunday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I ask people to be on time
Yes.
because it's a little bit of a distraction. It's like walking into the church and having to put your finger up a little bit when you come. So I ask people to be on time. But yes, you can find me there. And welcome. We welcome you to that space. The number one thing I want to give you, even if you never enter that space, the number one piece of advice I would love to give your listeners right now: drink your water. Drink your water. Lots and lots of water. And that's really what I want to put out there the most is you need to be flushing all these toxins and things that are going on, stressors, things like that cause inflammation in the body. Drink,
Yes.
drink, drinks. Keep yourself hydrated because this is going to be a long, interesting 4 years. It hasn't even been 4 months.
Yes.
We need to drink water and stay hydrated, but make sure you're taking care of yourselves.
Yes.
And thank
I'm
you
going to
again, Kim.
Yes, yes. I want to put that across the bottom of the screen there.
Thank you.
www.authenticallyyourexpressions.com, correct? So that way you guys can see that. Make sure that you tap in and learn more about how you can be a part of this beautiful, beautiful space that Sheronda has created. So my darling, like you said, drink your water. I got my water right here. Okay.
Okay.
There is something about that. Like you said, the body carries inflammation, and the older you get, the more swollen you get. Okay. Because I'm type swole right now. Okay. So I stay with the water. Okay. So I love that, honey. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing space with me as always. Thank you so much for being my sister and my friend. You know, I love
Yes.
you
I love
infinity.
you.
Infinity time infinity. So I appreciate, yes, darling. Yes, yes, girl. And anytime we have an opportunity to share space, you know, I'm always
Always
grateful.
for it. Always.
Always grateful. Okay. And then make sure that you guys tune into our podcast, Redefining Authenticity. Okay. We meet every Monday, 7 p.m. So join us. It is a live show.
Yeah.
Come share your comments, you know, share a couple of laughs with us. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful space to be in. And again, I'm always grateful for the time that we get to spend together. So, you know, she's always welcome here. She always has a seat on the couch. So, you know, you'll see her again, you know, because like we say, what's happening today is not what's happening 2 minutes, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 hours from now. We never
Okay.
know what is going to happen, but we
Never.
always have this platform to be able to share what's happening in our
So
now.
grateful.
So please tell people what's something that you're doing in your now to navigate in this space that we're in right now.
The thing again, water. I have never drank so much water before in my life. It's just my body's craving it a little bit more, honestly. But I know the spiritual benefits of the cleanse of rinsing, rinsing, rinsing. That's number one. Number two, being intentional in my showers and baths,
Yes.
feeling like I'm letting go of the junk. That's number two. Seriously, it's like sometimes it just feels filthy. But what's going on in politics and what's going on in the world right now, it's exhausting. But I'm being very intentional. Number three, to not just block out what's going on. I make sure I follow reputable sites
Yes.
online to know what's going on. Did I detach? I just want to have an awareness, but I'm not trying to get emotionally attached to what's happening. And it
Right.
happens in moments. That's why I drink my water and that's why I do my baths. But at the same time, I don't want to be blindsided or unaware or
Right.
ill informed about what's going on in the world around me. So those are the three things I like consciously, very consciously, January 20th said, because I didn't watch the inauguration because I wasn't going to, but I was like, Sharonda, drink your water, do that scrub, do your intentional bathing. Like we bathe, but that intentional, I remove this from here, I remove it. Lord, I thank you. It's that prayer. And yeah, and four, but probably number one, prayer meditation, big time, just keeping myself centered and grounded, reminding myself of whose I am and who I am on a continuous basis,
Yeah.
praying and listening, praying and listening, praying and listening. And so those are the things that I really try to keep going even more than before, just to keep myself, being able to do things like rest.
That's it. I love it. I love it. Again, thank you so much for sharing space with me, my dear. Love you dearly. And like I said, make sure that you go to www.authenticallyyourexpressions.com. Check out things that are going on with Sharonda.
Thank
And
you.
again, you know, we thank you for this space. We thank you for this time.
Thank
Okay?
you.
All right, my darling. And that will do it for this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And until I see you all the next time, I say peace.